Hi, so chapter 21 is the lymphatic system. So the lymphatic system is first and foremost a system that we are going to use to absorb excess interstitial fluid and all of the stuff that could be found in it. So this could be anything from cells, cell debris, to proteins, to electrolytes, all that kind of stuff, and then get it back to the blood. However, because of this, because of the possibility of finding these cell fragments, this cellular debris and this kind of thing, this is also a great place for us to house and support our lymphocytes and many of our other immune cells. So this is one place that we're going to transport and house those cells as well, so that we can get them into contact with potential pathogens in this way, okay? Now, the lymphatic system has a few major components. We, of course, have lymph vessels. So these are going to be the vessels that are going to have this lymph fluid moving through them. We have lymphoid tissues, and then we have lymphoid organs, okay? Lymph is actually going to be the name of the fluid that is going to be transported within the lymph vessels, okay? So here we can see some specific lymph vessels that are spread throughout the body, okay? You'll notice that we have them all coded in green. You'll also notice that these don't really form so much of a network, okay? So this isn't where we where we had red vessels coming together with blue ones, and then they all connected back together into this basically a giant circle. That's not the case here. Lymph vessels are always going to be one directional. They're going to be moving the lymph towards the blood vessels, okay? Now, we have some major lymph vessels in here, like our right lymphatic duct, and we have our thoracic duct here. This is where we're going to be draining all of this lymph to, so that we can get it returned to the vena cava up here, so that that fluid can get back into blood and then get circulated throughout the body, okay? Our lymph vessels, you'll see, have these kind of overlapping endothelial cells that when some pressure gets high out here, so there's a lot of fluid out here, it kind of forces those one-way valves open a little bit so water can come in. But then when there's fluid and stuff on the inside of the vessel, that fluid presses against those endothelial cells. So they can't actually allow the fluid back out. This helps us keep things nice and moving. We also have some primary lymphoid structures. This is primarily going to be your thymus as well as your red bone marrow. That's because these are places where we're going to, of course, be making all of our white blood cells in our red bone marrow. And those are also going to, some of those, like our T lymphocytes, are going to mature up here in the thymus. And then we have several secondary lymphoid structures that we're going to talk about later on. This is anything from our tonsils, which are a series of not lymph nodes necessarily, but these are going to be lymphoid structures found kind of in the mouth and throat. Then we've got several other of these little clusters of lymph nodes found throughout the body. So we have some up here in the cervical region, we've got some down here in the axillary region, inguinal region, but there are a few others just kind of scattered about here and there. And what these lymph nodes are, these are basically a place where we can house and circulate our white blood cells. This basically just gives them a place to sit. And then as this lymph gets moved through the system, it has to pass by all of these white blood cells. And then these white blood cells can basically check to say, hey, are these the pathogens that we can interact with? So this is one of the things that we're trying to accomplish here with our lymph nodes. And then finally, all of our hollow organs, so everything from your stomach to your intestines, all the way up through your mouth and throat, these are all going to be lined with mucosa. So all of the mucosa in these organs is going to have mucosa-associated lymphoid tissue that's going to be found in these areas. This is basically going to be some mucosa-associated tissues associated with all of those mucosal linings, once again, so that we can protect the rest of our body from things that could potentially be in that little tube.